What do antidepressants, birth control pills, and a glass of wine have in common? They're the top 3 recommendations women seeking out support for perimenopause and menopause are getting from their doctors. We are medically gaslighting half the population. And I'm here to burn that playbook and tell you there's a light at the end of the vaginal tunnel. Now, this talk is about vaginas. Whether you have one, love one, or came from one, this applies to you. For those of you in the audience who don't have a vagina, stick with me. Because what we women need from you in midlife is someone who listens, someone who takes note of our symptoms, and someone who validates what we're feeling. I've been in the functional medicine space for almost 3 decades. And every day, women come to me with brain fog, hot flashes, insomnia, weight gain, and low libido. They're not recognizing themselves anymore. So they go to their provider, seeking counsel and support. And instead, hear some of the most unhinged comments passing as medical advice. I bet you've all heard some doozies, but these really creamed my corn. Oh, you have low libido? Just try changing sex positions. Oh, you can't sleep at night? Take a shot of Benadryl, that's what I do. Ah, you're having crime scene periods. Here's a prescription for birth control. I too was gaslit. At the height of my perimenopausal insomnia, my doctor told me to take Xanax every night because it was, quote, non-addictive. Spoiler alert, it's addictive. He then handed me a copy of the Kabbalah and told me to put it under my pillow. WTF. Here's what's really happening. A woman in perimenopause or menopause seeking care from her medical provider will either receive a prescription for an antidepressant, birth control, or both. There is no discussion on hormone replacement therapy. There is no discussion on diet and lifestyle. And there's no discussion normalizing what the hell is happening in our bodies. So women sit and watch life pass them by. They stop trusting the inherent wisdom of their bodies and start believing they're crazy. And why? Because menopause care is not taught in medical schools. Neither are prescriptions for hormone replacement therapy. That's not taught either. If it is, maybe it's a day or two at most, maybe a week if you're really lucky. But this is a public health crisis. Menopause expert Dr. Mary Claire Haver recalls her medical residency, where women in perimenopause were literally diagnosed with WWS, whiny woman syndrome. And here's the biggest problem. A woman in perimenopause or menopause doesn't even know how to ask her provider for hormones. That Women's Health Initiative study done in 2002 created decades of fear-mongering around hormone replacement therapy. And any woman asking her provider for hormones was told that hormones would kill her. Now, in 2025, all the black box warning labels were removed off all estrogen products. But the education hasn't caught up, so the fear-mongering still remains. How do you even know if it's time to bring hormones into the picture? Well, if dry January is the tagline for your vagina, that's a solid sign. Let's do some myth busting around hormones and really set the record straight. Number one, just because your mother or grandmother did not take hormones does not mean that you can't do it. Hormones give women their quality of life back with energy, mood, vitality. They help us feel present in our own lives. They bring our libido back. Number two, hormones do not cause cancer. That's right. There is not one single study proving that hormones directly cause cancer, especially when we're using bioidentical forms. Third, hormones can be given at any age. It's never too late. So, I've made it my mission to become the face of the modern vagina and teach women how to make menopause their bitch. Using nutrition, hormones, and self-advocacy. Let's talk about nutrition, which is ground zero for a strong, lean midlife body. Most women who come to me in my practice, who I see, they come to me surviving on kale chips and sadness. They are eating what I like to call ventilator calories, which are literally the amount of calories that I used to feed to my hospital patients lying in bed on ventilators. They're under-fueling their bodies in a very dramatic way. And they wonder why every single fat cell in that menopot is holding on for dear life and won't let go. Well, newsflash, your body thinks you're starving because it is. The leanest, strongest women I see in my practice are fueling their bodies with a minimum of 100 grams protein per day, often much more, but we start there. This builds muscle, regulates our blood glucose, gives our brains dopamine and serotonin. They're also eating carbohydrates to actually fuel their thyroid and rebuild their metabolism. And they're eating optimal calories to actually have the energy to work out, run a business, take care of their families, and feel amazing in their own lives. So refueling their bodies is a must. Let's talk about the second piece of making menopause your bitch, which is self-advocacy. The minute you notice physiologic changes happening, write them down. If you notice that the first half of your cycle is radically different than the second, and you're having irritability and hot flashes and insomnia, or your vajayjay is dry as the Sahara Desert, or you've gained 10 pounds without changing anything in diet or exercise, or you're having crime scene periods and irregular cycles, or you're having these bizarre symptoms like itchy ears and frozen shoulder, or you can't stand the sound of someone's chewing. If any of these sound like you, congratulations. You have a first-class ticket on the perimenopause train. All of these are signs and symptoms that your estrogen is on a wild roller coaster ride, and your progesterone and testosterone are tanking. And this is why early intervention of hormones is so radically important, because none of these are an antidepressant or birth control deficiency. They are a wild hormone deficiency coupled with an endocrine storm. So, when we ask our providers for hormones, here are some of the benefits that we can enjoy. Estrogen is going to help us stay asleep. It eliminates hot flashes and controls body temperature. Progesterone helps us fall asleep, gives us a calm, happy mood, offsets crime scene periods. Testosterone gives us our energy and mood and libido. And vaginal estrogen relieves dryness and atrophy and prevents UTIs. So schedule a visit with your provider. Bring a list of your symptoms, but schedule a separate visit to discuss this. Don't wait until your provider's face is between your legs mid-pap smear. Find a provider who can address all of those symptoms you've written down, who listens to you, who's hormone literate, who actually will guide you through. The minute you feel gaslit, you have that gut feeling they're not going to get you, or you're the one driving the conversation around hormones, or they dismiss you with vague quips, or only want to put you on birth control, fire them. Find a new provider. They're out there and they exist. And you may love the doctor who delivered your babies, but he or she may not be hormone literate in the menopause space and may not be the person to carry you through. You are always your own best doctor, and you must trust your gut, even if she's leaky. She knows best every time, and you deserve exquisite meno care. So the take-home message, my gorgeous people, is this. Menopause is not the end of the road. You don't have to be some dried up old invisible hag. It doesn't have to be your mama's menopause. I'm a Gen Xer. We're the alchemists here. We're not going to take this sitting down. We're going to speak up for ourselves and make sure that although menopause is inevitable, our suffering is not a badge of honor. And when you partner nutrition, hormones, and self-advocacy, you don't just survive in menopause, you thrive in it. Because this is our zero F's era, and there is truly a light at the end of the vaginal tunnel. Thank you.